Crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I'm here to share a clean and simple card with one of the new Gerda Steiner Designs clear stamp sets. She has released several new clear stamp sets, and this one is called Howl Are You? It's a dog or puppy themed stamp set and includes a variety of fun images, and one of the things that I really like are the belated birthday sentiments, since I feel like those are a little bit more unique. But then there is this little bulldog guy who is so cute, but obviously feeling so grumpy. And so I thought it would be like a fun little surprise pick-me-up card. I'm thinking of sending it to one of my cousins with maybe a Starbucks gift card inside, where they could save it for a rough day and open it up and get a little surprise. So I am stamping it with the Memento Rich Cocoa ink, which is a Memento brown ink, because that will still work for Copic Coloring, but will be a little bit less noticeable when I do the brown colors. So to keep this card simple, I did want to add a little bit of pattern paper, and I decided to add a pattern paper from the Sweater Weather collection because I thought that it has a lot of browns in it, so it would coordinate well with the dog which I intended to color brown. I had looked at some reference photos of bulldogs, and I thought about a couple different colors, and you see that the way that I pick pattern papers is usually just to take my image and lay it over it. You might even want to color it first, and that will give you a better idea of how the overall end card would look. But here I knew that all those colors would coordinate well, but I leaned towards the teal because I knew that I had a ink that would match, and therefore I could stamp the sentiment, rough day, in a coordinating color of ink. And because this sentiment has the fun font, which has a lot of texture inside of it, it is great for stamping in colors and adding that as an element on your card. And this panel is cut with a Lawn Fawn Stitch rectangle die, one of the smaller of the set though. I'm going to be using a E31, 33, 37 combination, but then bringing in something a little bit darker to add my deepest shadows. I tend to like to work in a color family and then go outside the color family for deep shadows. That's personally just what works for me. And I started with my medium tone because I wasn't sure how light I wanted it to be, and found that I really actually wanted to pull in that E31. So I generally try to keep the areas that are going to be lightest with less ink on them. And one way I achieve that is by not going over the ink too many times, not overworking it. So the areas that I want to stay lightest, I'll try to go over with only one or two passes of the ink and try to leave it white on my first go round with the medium color. Then I'll slowly build on some color with the darker markers, in this case the E37. And once I have it blended out in a way that I like, I'm ready to come in with my darkest color and really add those deep shadows. I find that if I get a good blend before I add the deep shadows, I'll be less likely to overwork the deeper shadows, and they'll be able to really provide that high contrast that I like. However, I do take the E37 and the 33 and blend them out a little bit where I felt like they were too stark. And for the deep shadow, I'm using an E49. I find that most anything outside the color family usually can be blended as long as it's significantly darker. And then when I went to color in the paws, I thought that it would be considerably more dark in those areas because there'd be more shadows being cast on it, particularly on the arm because it is behind the face and behind the paws. So I felt more comfortable going straight in with my darkest marker and then only blending out to the E33. And this also brings a little bit more interest to the face because it's a little bit lighter. When I went to color the snout, I really wanted it to contrast with the face, and so I'm going to use a slightly different color combination. But I did want to emphasize the wrinkles there, and I felt that using that E49 marker there would really bring out the wrinkles and emphasize that. So then I am doing the snout, and like I said, I wanted it to be considerably darker. However, I didn't want it to only be brown. I wanted to kind of bring in the feeling of black with it. If you go straight in with a black, though, it will definitely appear like it has no depth. So then I usually switch to my W markers. However, that would make it appear gray. And what I really want is a blackish brown. So I'm taking a really dark color of brown, in this case the E49, or I also have an E77 that would work well, and mixing it with the W7, which is a warm gray marker. Once I have all my Copic coloring finished, I would just mount it on that pattern paper that I picked out originally, and that's it for this card. It's just something quick and simple to really brighten up someone's day and have a chance to focus in on some Copic coloring there. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more crafting tutorials, you can subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Bye.